Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
I had to pay a $1,000 deductible for my pipe breaking and causing water damage in my attic. I feel like she's responsible for that because she's the one that had turned off the heater.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Catherine Bennett claims her former roommate failed to leave the heat on and says the pipes burst in the house after a cold winter night. Ms. Bennett is suing Shirley Young in the amount of $1,000. Ms. Young is countersuing for $500.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Good deputy Thomas. Ms. Bennett, you want $1,000 back from Ms. Young because your pipes got destroyed in your property. Ms. Young, you're countersuing because security deposit of $500 you feel is owed to you.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Well, she failed to keep the heat on when she left, and it froze my pipes and made them burst.
Initially, the two of you were roommates.
Yes.
Whose property is it?
My property.
Okay. Is it a house?
Yes.
You own the house?
Yes.
All right. How long you had the house?
About 3 years.
How long did Miss Young live there before you felt this isn't a good fit?
6 months.
6 months. Talk to me, Miss Young. What was going on during those 6 months? Did you have a problem with Miss Bennett?
From like the beginning, no. At first, it was all cool.
How did the two of you meet? Was it just
we met in college, actually.
You all knew each other?
Yes. She went over policies. I agree with her policies.
Was anything in writing? And
Yes.
you were okay with the terms and conditions of the written guidelines and so forth?
Of course, of
All right.
course.
Paid rent on time?
I pay rent on time.
Okay, no, wait. As I'm saying paid rent on time, I see her shaking her head no, as you're simultaneously saying, I paid rent on time. Which is it?
She did not.
Sir, I pay rent on time, but then it was a time where I did need to borrow money at that same time.
Okay.
So it was
Within the
like,
6 month period, did you pay rent on time?
Yes.
Is that true?
No.
The first month, did she pay on time?
Yes.
Second?
Yes.
Third?
Partial.
Fourth?
She paid and then asked to borrow money from me right away. So it was like she didn't even really pay rent because she'd pay in and say, hey, can I borrow $400 or $500? And it's like,
Okay,
how's
month
that
5.
payment? No, partial.
I said the first 6 months, did you pay rent on time? You said yes.
Yes, I paid money on time, but
But you just admitted that it was partial. I didn't say, did you pay partial rent? I said, did you pay rent? And I'm sure where it said rent, it didn't say, pay me what you can. Was it a mutual that this isn't working out? It's probably time that we go our separate ways.
Yes.
And you said what?
I said, so be it.
Okay. Where the $1,000 comes in is based on what?
I had to pay a $1,000 deductible for my pipe breaking and causing water damage in my attic, which in turn also dripped to my bedroom level floor as well. So I feel like she's responsible for that because she's the one that had turned off the heater.
Now, there are specifics about this that I recall. You weren't there when she turned off the heater.
Yes.
And you knew she wasn't there when you turned off the heater.
Yes, she was.
You're
on
in
vacation.
Michigan.
Yes.
It's winter. Were you aware that pipes burst?
She was aware, Your Honor. I had told her that with her being, this was her first time living in Michigan. So I told her
Where did you
our
live
winters are
previously?
below freezing.
I previously live in Florida, so I'm like, it's too different.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
All right. But you said she knew because you had a conversation with her.
Yes, I told
saying,
her our winters are
in the
below
winter,
freezing.
this is a whole different thing going on here.
Yes, but I would tell her, period, we would leave the heater on or leave a drip of water running so that the, pipes wouldn't get backed up or
Okay.
would freeze
And-
out. So
and
she
did
was
you
aware.
Not understand those directions?
Oh, I understood
Okay.
completely because I wouldn't want to come into somebody's house and intentionally damage their
Right.
property.
That makes sense.
You know, so
Then what happened? Why'd you turn the heat off?
she was going on vacation. So within that week of vacation, she gave me a week to pack my belongings. And
You gave her a week during the same period of time that you knew you weren't going to be there?
Well, I had a business trip. I figured by leaving, I'd give her, you know, some space to get her mind together, get her belongings right.
Yes.
And I was going to be back on Friday, and she was supposed to be leaving on Sunday.
All right,
so
the
I figured it
business
was
trip,
fine.
you were going to be gone for how many days?
Monday through Friday originally.
Monday through Friday, you were going to be gone, and you would return Friday evening.
Yes.
And then by Sunday, you were out of there.
out.
Okay. What changed?
My business trip actually got extended, so I came back on Saturday. When I came back, I saw that she was already gone, but I didn't get anybody to watch over my house because she wasn't supposed to leave till, you know, I was back already, basically.
Got it.
So,
You were thinking, as long as I'm back by Sunday, we're in good shape.
right.
Coming up on America's Court.
The two of you had each other's numbers.
Yeah.
No communication.
I thought I was coming back Friday. It looks like I'm not coming back Saturday. Are you still leaving Sunday? That's one message. You didn't do that?
And later,
Midsummer is pregnant.
That's right.
And then what?
A gender reveal party.
You all decided to have a gender reveal party for horses?
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Catherine Bennett, who is suing Shirley Young for property damage.
Did you tell her that instead of coming home Friday, I'm coming home Saturday?
No, because
Any particular
I didn't
reason
think
why?
I thought she'd still be there. Like, she didn't tell me that she didn't call and say she was
Do
leaving
you have a
early.
cell phone?
Yes.
Do you have a cell phone?
That's correct.
The two of you had each other's numbers.
Yeah.
No communication.
I thought I was coming back Friday. It looks like I'm not coming back Saturday. Are you still leaving Sunday? That's one message. You didn't do that?
No, I
And
was
then you
busy.
ended up leaving earlier.
That's right. Not intentionally, well, because I figured since my place was already ready, why not go ahead, pack my belongings, and move in?
Right, because if you have someone say, I want you out of here by Sunday, that means any of those days. Be up till Sunday. Why is the onus on her to communicate and not you?
I mean, the communication was lacking on both parts. However,
But it's
she
not her
still knew
house.
to leave the heat on, though. Like, that's what it really comes down to. I already told her
Well,
about the
you
piping
actually
situation.
left on Friday.
That's correct, sir.
And when
Friday
you
evening.
left Friday, you turned the heater off.
Yes, that's correct.
Why
Not-
would you turn the heater off on Friday?
The plan was she leaves Monday, come back Friday. I figured since she was coming back Friday night, I'll leave Friday evening. I clean everything. I make sure everything was in spot, spotless.
And then Friday, you're out.
And I'm
she's
out.
coming home Friday anyway.
She's coming home Friday anyways. What's an hour or two? Shut everything down.
That makes
It's
sense to
okay.
me.
She definitely did not clean, and I do have.
Was that part of the deal that she was supposed to clean before she left?
Yes, if she wanted her security deposit, she had to clean her space.
Did you have that in writing that you have to have
Yes.
a clean space?
Yes.
All right, let me see that. Yep.
Thanks.
And when you say she didn't have a clean space, what are we talking about?
You can see in the picture that the attic and things are still a mess, other than the water as well.
Well, was she living in the attic?
No, but that was another shared space that I hadn't been using for a week. And from the water, I don't know how long she left. She's saying she left Friday, but she could have left on Wednesday because it's so much water.
But you didn't tell her you must leave on Sunday. You said, I want you out by Sunday. That's two different things. You're saying because she left these things, that's $500 worth of damage that she's not entitled to for her security deposit.
And I also had to kick out the $1,000 for, the damage as well.
Because you didn't communicate to her that you were going to spend an extra day away. That's not her fault.
I think that she also shouldn't have left as well without telling somebody she was leaving earlier.
Then she could say the same. If you were coming later, you should have told me.
I think she did it out of spite, honestly.
Let's assume she
because
did.
She knew.
But if she did it out of spite and she had no way of knowing that you weren't coming home Friday night, what would be spiteful about turning off the heat on Friday when you're coming home Friday? It would only be spiteful if she knew you weren't coming until Saturday or Sunday. But if you're not communicating with her, she's like, she's gonna be here in a few hours. Right. If anything, it was like, I'm trying to be nice. I don't understand why you didn't communicate with her.
Just, I guess, lack of time, and we were already on bad terms, so I didn't want to make anything worse with her being at the property without me.
So you're saying that she should have to pay that $1,000? That's not going to happen. Because based on the evidence and testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant as to that she's not responsible for that $1,000. You are. Now that you chose, well, we're on bad terms, that's business is business. You can be on bad terms with someone and still handle your business. You're saying that the counterclaim, you are entitled, was the security deposit $500?
Yes. That's
How
correct.
much was your rent every month?
My rent was $600.
Okay. And you want to keep $500, all of it, because of some things that were left in the attic?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, she didn't pay rent one time, other times either.
You're not suing for unpaid rent. You're saying you're suing for the $1,000 based on the deductible. Mm-hmm. Nowhere in your complaint does it say, and I'm suing for monies that I'm still owed. And did you put it in writing why you didn't give her the money back?
Yes, I did.
Did she put it in writing for you?
Yes, she did.
And did she say it was because you left items?
Yes.
And this is the extent of what she left?
Some of it.
Well, did you have any pictures of anything else?
No,
You took a picture of this? Well, then this is all I have. You gave me a list of the damage for the water. So for this, the counterclaim, I'm going to rule in favor of Ms. Young. Save $100. You are going to pay her back $400. You know, I think that's reasonable in terms of cleaning fees and et cetera. So nothing for you, $400 for you that Ms. Bennett will pay you. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff has been ordered to pay $400.
The judge got it right. The damage wasn't my fault, and good luck to her.
She's so irresponsible. I can't believe I have to pay for the damages she caused.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Midsummer's pregnant.
That's right.
And then what?
A gender reveal party.
You all decided to have a gender reveal party for horses? Is that a thing now that we're giving gender reveals for animals?
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Alroy Padina claims he split the cost of a gender reveal party with his neighbor after their horses mated, but later had suspicions his stallion wasn't the father. Mr. Padina is suing Sam Hedgelock in the amount of $1,600.
We're here over some horses.
I'm here to sue my neighbor Sam for $1,600.
And the $1,600 involves a horse that you all were breeding your horses. Is that right?
We're not in the practice of breeding, but we did at this particular time.
And Ms. Hedgelock, why were you all in an agreement that you would breed the horses on this particular occasion?
He did not want to be involved in paying a stud fee. And
he didn't want to pay a stud fee.
That's right. And because we were neighbors, he said it would be neighborly if my steel toe could impregnate your midsummer. And I said, wonderful.
Wait a minute. Your horse's name is Steel Toe?
Yes.
And your horse's name is?
Midsummer.
Midsummer. And the two horses get together. And then Midsummer is pregnant.
That's right.
And then what?
There's a total fee of $1,600, approximately $1,300.
Yes.
For a gender reveal party. Now, I've heard of gender reveal for people, but
you all decided to have a gender reveal party for horses? Is that a thing now that we're giving gender reveals for animals?
No. The gender reveal is for people, and I have to tell you.
Who's invited to the gender reveal?
All of our neighbors. My mother went through a horrible, excruciating death several months prior to that. It has been a very depressing time for me.
Okay.
And I said, would it not be nice to have a celebration of these two horses coming together?
Coming up on America's Court.
What was the issue?
Well, Soon after Shadow was born, I could tell my steel toe was not the daddy.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Alroy Padina, who is suing Sam Hedgelock for breach of contract.
We run into a hiccup, and that's why we're here.
Well, yes, I agreed to pay for half the cost of the gender reveal party. I wanted my horse, Steel Toe, to be a daddy. And I, in turn, would be kind of like a granddaddy, because my horses are like my kids, because my kids are all grown up and moved out.
You needed to come up with $1,300 for the party?
$1,325 plus the vet fee, half of the vet fee.
Where was the event held?
At her place.
Why
Her
is it
ranch.
so
She
much
has a
money?
ranch.
Well, because we invited close to 100 people.
Oh, this was a big thing. He was willing to split the cost.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Yes, but you said $1,325. You're suing for $1,600. So there's $275 that is unaccounted for. What's that for?
That was for the vet fee.
I think he's got some stuff for you.
I'll take a look at it.
Everything right here.
But why did you have to pay a vet fee if
What was
midsummer?
the cost of the vet fee?
The gender reveal.
Thank you.
Oh, because the doctors charged you to ascertain whether the new calf was going to be a boy or a girl?
Indeed.
I've got a picture of Shadow. Okay, is Shadow the offspring of Steel Toe and Midsummer? Now, I'm kind of okay with Shadow. The other, Mom and Dad are gorgeous. Shadow, not so much. What was the issue?
Well, soon after Shadow was born, I could tell my Steel Toe was not the daddy.
Okay, you know what? It's funny you say that because I'm looking at Steel Toe, and that's what I'm saying. It's like Steel Toe is amazing, and Midsummer is amazing, and Shadow, I'm kind of like, huh?
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
I went to my ranch hands. I said, what happened here? Oh, by the way, Wilbur, my stallion, got out and was with Midsummer.
Is this the picture of Wilbur that?
You are the daddy.
Wilbur is clearly the daddy. Is it fair for him to have to pay the cost of the reveal fee and the party? And there was nothing for him to gain from any of it, other than the joy of knowing that Steel Toe had reproduced. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the plaintiff. There was an understanding that he would get a benefit of some sort from this relationship. He received no benefit. You must pay him back $1,600. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,600. Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.